Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
This is our top 10.
Where you can actually talk or very limited communication.
I'll stand in the...
Let me say, I will do some sign language here, but I'm not proficient in BSL or ASL, so I'm sorry. But yes.
It's our top 10. It's basically that. Yeah.
Limited communication games, or games that utilize communication as significant parts of the gameplay.
Yeah, and it works very well for me right now because my soul is completely.
Matt's got a sore throat. He's poorly. I'm trying to stay as far away as I can.
It's
Matt.
very annoying. So a game with limited communication where I don't actually have to speak
Would be amazing right now.
Yes,
absolutely. And you don't even have to speak to us to hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, that's just like that happens without having to
Doesn't say anything. You just like press it, and everything happens.
Yeah.
And if you're happy to do that, and you're happy to speak for a little bit, Matt,
yeah,
let's dive into this episode.
Let's go.
Rolling dice, feeling nice, cardboard dreams and game schemes. Click subscribe, it's a vibe. Board Stupid's all we need. Board Stupid, game reviews for you and me. Board Stupid, here's what you should play and see.
Is it a game? Is it not a game? Is it an activity or is it not? This, Matt, is the mind for our number 10.
Mind that I still think is one of the best party games that you can do in a very large groups. And it's very easy to pick up. So basically what the game is, you got a deck of cards like 1 to 100. You're gonna give the cards distributed to the different players. And without saying anything, you need to put those cards in order.
That's it. That's the rules. The whole rules of the game.
Yes. And of course, each one will have different numbers, but you always need to have a feel about your friends with cards, is they gonna have, which one they're gonna not. And it's one of those party games that after a couple of drinks, people really get into it. And
Yeah.
I saw people like jumping on chairs or like absolutely having meltdowns because the last card was the wrong one.
It's cool. I mean, the game has a specific trick to it, which I won't spoil. You can discover that for yourself. But you are trying to sync up with your timing to try and get the right cards in the right order. That's essentially it. If you manage to get through level 1, which I think is 1 card each, and then you have to do 2 cards each, then 3 cards each, then 4 cards each.
It goes like more and more difficult
each round.
Yeah.
There's a couple of mitigating things that you can do. There's some cards that can help you eliminate some cards or help you maybe reset, take a breath, that sort of thing.
But you can play hardcore mode and try to.
And here's even more interesting. Once you have if you've got like a group that you can smash it with, you can play super hardcore mode and you play them face down.
Ooh.
And then only at the end of the round, when the time
that's too hardcore.
that's super hardcore. And then at the end, you reveal them all. And if they're in the right order, you will flip the table with joy.
But again, it's a game where you are supposed to not talk at all. So there's literally no communication beside psychic one.
That's it. That's the mind.
Number 9, when we got Magic Maze. What it's all about.
If you've ever wanted to be stressed while not being able to say a word and silently scream at your friends, this is that game where you cannot. You're just like. It's amazing. So Magic Maze is a very, very simple game. You essentially have a little puzzle, the maze, and you have 4 pawns of different colors, and everyone will have a specific ability that only they can do. For example, mine might be move north. Yours might be move east and search. Your friend over there might be move up the escalator or down the escalator, and the other one will be move south or whatever it is. You flip a timer, and you need to get out of the maze, going through to the exits without saying a thing, and it's in real time.
Right time, yes.
In real time.
Yeah.
You can. There's nothing stopping you like moving stuff or moving, but you can only move pieces according to your specific ability.
Power. Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's so stressful. The only communication is this purple pawn which they call the do something porn.
Yeah.
You literally just put it in front of
It's like,
them.
do something, dude. Yeah,
That's it. Do something, and that's absolutely fantastic. Very simple. There is Magic Maze Tower.
Yeah,
which
there's
is
the
most-
new one that it came out last year.
Absolutely, yeah, last year.
yeah.
Fantastic as well. So that eliminates the timing side of
Yeah.
it and adds a bigger puzzle element
Yeah,
where
yeah.
much bigger mazes to get out and different powers and stuff and portals and all sorts of things.
I guess different style. The one is more stressful because of the time. The other
Yeah.
one is more stressful because of the size and the complexity. But yeah,
Absolutely, and you can play up to 8 people if you're a sadist.
we can do it.
It's
without
so
saying
it's
anything.
so
Oh my
painful,
God.
but it's great fun. I would thoroughly recommend it. It's a great fun family game as well. It's quite small, so you can travel with it.
Yeah, and it looks like very
quite compact.
cutesy, and
Yeah.
so the kids will like it as well. So.
Absolutely, you're communicating via the power of your movement and your hands, and that is it.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Let's go.
Matt, there's a spooky presence, a ghostly chill down like all of that.
But it's a silent ghost.
silent ghost. What are we talking
We're
about?
talking about Mysterium.
Yeah, we are. It's a mystery.
Mysterium. In Mysterium is one that not versus all, one with all, because it's one of the player will play the role of a ghost, of a silent ghost
Yeah.
that will only speak to the player with cards, and those cards are full of weird art,
Crazy psychedelic artwork.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
While all the other player will need to try to find out who their suspect person is going to be, where the murder had happened, and with what weapon. So each turn, you as a player will receive cards with these weird arts from the ghost, and you will need to be like, oh, on this card I can see there is something that looks like bread. Oh, here is the guy. I got the baker. Maybe it's been him.
Absolutely.
But most of the time, the cards with hearts do not make any sense at all.
They could apply to a number of things.
Yeah, exactly. So each player will have to try to find each stage different things. People will be left behind because they can't
work
find
out,
it.
right?
So
Absolutely.
it's a race at the end of the day for the other players to find out who was the killer, the place, and the weapon. There is a clock, so it's all very interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, if you think, sort of like a Dixit, but with a more spooky,
slightly more
version.
of a structured game behind it
Yeah.
as well. So there is a definitive goal as opposed to just going points or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, Mysterium is a fantastic game. It is a really great Halloween game.
It is.
Thoroughly recommend. And if you are the ghost, don't answer yes or no or anything like that. Do
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
but no, that's it. That's the only way you should
No, that's really good. If you are the ghost, you're gonna have a great time. I really love it, and it's a game that I will put on the table with people that don't usually play board games. Because it's really easy to pick up. It's really fun, and you create a lot of stories about the game while you're playing the game.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
definitely ghost, but the other ones will have a lot of fun.
Mysterium.
Wayne, we got at 10,000 feet of altitude,
Okay.
but we can't speak to each other because you the pilot, I'm the co-pilot, or vice versa.
We had a falling out.
It seems like we had a
Yeah.
falling out. We can't really say.
We're not talking
we
about
need to
it.
go left or right. So, and we're talking about
Sky Team. Sky Team is a great limited communication game utilizing dice placements
Yeah.
as the way that you try and convince your co-pilot to do the right thing.
Yeah.
While again, silently screaming at them when they place the dice in the wrong place. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. Sky Team is the only two-player game as of this date to win the Spiel des Jahres.
Yep.
And deservedly so. Fantastic, innovative design, really great fun, man. And quite stressful.
It is, because at the end of the day, it's a cooperative game.
Working with different teammates.
Just like with the other person, and you need to try again. You roll your dice behind the screen, so the other person doesn't even know what value of the dice you're gonna have, and you need to try to do a lot of different operation, like keeping the speed correct, or leveling the plane, putting the right fuel, all that kind of of stuff. And I think it's a perfect game for a couple.
It's great.
Because you really see how all your wavelengths are if they combine or not. Like we lose.
Oh yeah.
Me and Wayne. Well, me and Faye, my girlfriend, we won a lot of them. So it's just like trying to understand even. All right, if I'm putting this number on this specific location, can you understand what I'm trying to say?
Exactly. What does this mean?
Cool.
Yeah, it's such a cool game with a great little production as well. Do definitely go and check out that game. And there's a very good reason why I was never a pilot.
Yeah, definitely.
Sky Team. So, Matt, this particular game is basically keeping the stock price for Czech Games Edition nice and high. Because they keep selling and it's a great game.
Yeah, I'm talking about Codenames.
Codenames.
Now
Brilliant.
you got probably, I don't know, 25, 30 different editions.
Codenames,
We're talking about
Duel, Codenames, Disney,
yeah,
Codenames, whatever.
Yeah, they got Codenames, Marvel, but whatever it is. Talking about the original one and Duet. But let's talk about the original one. Basically, you divide people in groups, like
simple as that.
Like normally, like a larger teams of what we will
teams of four at
say
least.
that. Yeah, exactly. One of the player will be the master, telling his side of his own team a word and a number. And then needs to match all the names,
all the words that are on the table.
Again, it's such a classic game, but there is a reason why it's been there for ages, because it brings these things of the communication, like to the fun level.
It's really good. I mean, you could say, for example, in this game, you could be like film 2, and on the board might be actor and TV, right? Something like that. So your team needs to be like, oh, okay, he said film 2, maybe it's actor and TV. But on the board also might be the word screen, which would be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it might guess your opponent's word. That might be. Or it might be one of the assassins or whatever it is, and that will also be a fail for you. So fantastic game, really simple, great family game, great party game as well.
It is. It's one of those older games that if you have a lot of people that haven't played a board game before, you can put it out on the table, 5 minutes, everybody learn how to play, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with a lot of people screaming about, how did you say that? Yes,
absolutely. And if you want a language independent one, you can get Codenames Pictures, which is just as good.
Yeah. If you like the idea of a 2-player version of that, the Codenames Steward is actually really good. It's cooperative, so the game is gonna give you basically the missions, the clues, and you need to with the other person work it out together. And again, it's a very good one as well. So definitely have a look at that.
It is a classic. Codenames.
When we got in a mission in space, we've been flying, and now we go into space with
The Crew is a fantastic game. You might say, is that really limited communication? I say yes. It's a trick-taking game first and foremost, that's for sure. There's a cooperative game second, but third, it is absolutely a limited communication game.
And if you're not doing limited communication, you're cheating.
Yeah, it's fully limited communication.
That is the game.
The key part of that game, if you know about the Crew, if you don't know about the Crew, you are working together to try and do different scenarios, or you can just try and win certain amount of tricks. There's a bunch of ways that you can play the Crew. But the communication piece is interesting. You can play a card on the table from your hand and then indicate with a token whether it's the highest of that particular suit, the lowest of that suit, or the only one of that suit.
Yeah, exactly. That's really, really cool. Because that's in theory, that is the only things that you can use to communicate.
Correct.
And you can only do it once during each game. So it is very limited communication. But sometimes it's telling someone that this is my highest card of this color, that is gonna sort you out.
Solve the trick, right?
Sometimes it's that just gonna create a lot of confusion.
There are 2 versions of the Crew. You have the Crew was it Quest for Planet something? Or
Yeah, Quest for Planet 9.
Maybe. And then Mission Deep Sea.
Mission Deep Sea, yeah.
Apparently Deep Sea is better. I've not played it.
I think I've still got a couple of missions to finish on the crew, and then I'll probably swap to
Deep Sea.
Yeah, because it's always a great game. Again, it's another one of those. It's slightly more complex. It's a trick-taking games tends to be not for everyone.
Yeah.
It needs
you need to learn trick-taking first.
Exactly. But it's one of those when you actually manage to do your tricks and manage to complete the mission.
Very satisfying.
It's absolutely mega satisfying.
Yeah, it's very, very good. That's the crew.
The crew.
So, if you liked the sound of Mysterium, but you want a prequel,
the prequel. So when the person is
not
about to be
about to be a ghost,
yes. So that's the.
or has just been killed.
Probably you want to play Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. That is the non-official
prequel in our headcanon in board gaming lore. And it's a great blend, Matt, as you just said, between sort of something like Avalon, Secret Hitler, and Mysterium, kind of smash them together because it's a social deduction.
In a nicer, more streamlined way of these two games put together.
Absolutely. So the conceit of the game is one player is the forensic investigator, and they're going to try and get the good guys to guess the identity of the murderer. At the start of the game, you're going to deal out...
And one of you is going to be the murderer.
One of you is going to be...
So depending on the number of people around the table, one's going to be the murderer. You could have witness, you can have accomplices. So depending on the number of, like a big table, you will have multiple people involved in the other side. Yeah.
You're going to deal out a bunch of different murder weapons to people, a bunch of different evidence to people, and then the forensic investigator will need to try and communicate without communicating the specific murder weapon and the specific evidence that the murderer, in advance of everyone knowing, secretly showed to the investigator. Yeah, exactly. And that's the entire game.
Yeah. And how is he going to do it?
He's going to do it via basically putting bullet tokens on these little tablets, and the tablets will have sort of vague descriptive words. So, for example, one of the tablets might be the murder weapon tablet, and it will have words like sharp or blunt or cold or something like that.
Always very generic, very generic.
So if they put it on sharp, for example, everyone will look around the table and see who's got a sharp.
You've got a knife.
You've got actually no, but you've got an axe.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, but actually you've got a needle. That sort of
but
thing.
the words are always the same things goes for the location and the
condition of the body.
Condition of the body.
All that sort of stuff.
All the cards that you're gonna receive as evidence are always very generic. The words are even more generic.
Yeah.
So and then is where the murder needs to be good at
a little bit of diversion. Exactly.
But the central role is still the one of the detective that without talking, simply pointing to the condition, needs to trying to communicate what he's thinking to a wider audience, trying to make the murderer
It's amazing
go
what
to
you
jail.
can do. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with just like a couple of words and getting people to narrow it down. But what I like about this game, Matt, is even if you don't like the lying piece, you can just basically without even lying, point to someone else and be like, well, you've got a sharp object.
Yeah.
And you've got this particular thing. Like, so there's a way of playing it, even if you hate those like games like Avalon where you
exactly. You know that I'm not a big fan on the Avalon, the Resistance and all the stuff. I don't like people normally. The loud people are the ones that
lawyering their way out.
But this one is way more streamlined. Yeah. This is a game that you can pick up and again play in a party situation without having to have proper board games around the table. So
that's it.
Deception. All right, so we've been in space, we've been flying around, we did some murder, we met some ghosts, and this and everything. What is missing?
Do you know what was missing? A bank heist.
Yes.
I want to rob some money.
And we're talking about the game.
Yeah, we are. It's the newest game.
It is. Just like fresh from Spiel in October. Yeah. In a very small box. The VA gave us a a new way of playing poker and doing bank heist.
So if you ever liked Texas Hold'em poker,
Yeah.
right, but wanted to find out a way of playing without money that isn't rubbish,
Yeah,
is this.
it is.
Because basically, poker without gambling is crap. It's not. It's not
There's
fun.
no point of playing.
Don't play
Yeah,
poker.
there's
Play,
no
play a
point.
million other board games.
Yeah.
But if you like the game of poker and you want to play it, this is the best way
Yeah.
I've ever seen of playing it like that. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's basically playing Texas Hold'em. So everybody
co-op.
around, yeah, but
co-op
co-op.
poker.
So every player will start with, like in Texas Hold'em, with the 2 cards, and there's gonna be some chips at the center of the table. Each player silently, without saying anything, they need to pick up the chips that they think of the strength of the hand.
Represents how strong
So
they are.
the chips on the table is going to be 1 to 5, for example. If you're starting with two kings, you definitely want the 5 because it's a mega super strong hand.
So you take that 5.
So that is going to be the first round. So everybody looks at the other chips, and then there's going to be a second round where the flop comes down, and you start be like, I'm not really sure that I got the strongest hand. Probably this
take a 4,
round I'm going to
maybe.
take a 4. And that goes out for the, what's that? The reverb,
The turn,
the reverb, or whatever
Yeah.
the name is, until you got all the cards down, so all the numbers are out. And at that point, the last chip is the one that actually matters to find out, all right, I'm definitely the
This is
strongest.
my final strength of my
You're
hand.
definitely the second one. And then everybody reveals. If you win, you basically open the vault of the casino. The team is there
The
just
team is- yeah.
for a team, but
But the
it's-
game is brilliant.
but the other things is that if you didn't manage to do it, you can try again, but you will sound an alarm, and the alarm is gonna give you some
Negative
some
cards,
negative
some
sound.
negative bonus.
After 3 alarms, that's it.
That's
End of the game.
Yeah, there's an sort of a module you can add where if you fail and trigger one of the alarms, you get a little boost.
Bonus, yeah,
And if
exactly.
if you win, then you'll get a little sort of nerf.
Yeah, exactly. So
it
it makes
makes
it balance, trying to balance it out.
Yeah,
But,
and it's really. We had such fun playing this game.
It's a mega good
a
game.
riot.
Again, it's one of those where nobody can speak, and you start seeing people like, I'm taking the 5, and they was like, no, I'm taking the 5. I'm taking the 1. No, I'm taking the 1. So you see those chips moving around,
Yeah,
and
so
everybody
cool.
be like,
Yeah, because you can take a chip that someone's taken.
Yeah, yeah. So-
you take the 5. I want the 5, for example. It's such a great game, and this is a game you can play with people that aren't board gamers that like poker.
yeah, exactly. It's one of those perfect like festivity game as
Yeah.
well, because you will have a lot of people that knows how to play poker but not play the board game, and if you know in the game the only rules that you need to know are the one of the
That's my hold-up.
scoring of the
Yeah.
poker. That is something that you kind of need to know. There's some great
help cards as well.
cards that you can have, but helps out if you know
Yeah.
what a scale or what a
what's
poker
good and
is.
what's bad.
So, yeah,
So that's the game.
amazing.
What game?
Okay, we got the number 2. Again, this is one of our favorite, again, party games.
Party games, yeah.
And we're talking about
Just one. Wait,
one.
that's 2. Just one. Just one is fantastic. This game is, when I played it the first time, this is one of those games where you think, wait a minute, why wasn't this invented like 50 years
so,
ago?
so it's
so
the
classic.
idea behind it so simple.
So simple,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
so beautifully simple.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. You playing cooperatively, again, one person is a guesser. They are going to have in front of them, that they can't see, a list of words, and they'll pick, based on the number that's next to them, I'll have word number 3, please.
Yeah.
Everyone else around the table can see word number 3, and they need to get to the guesser to guess that word.
Yeah.
They
With
do
the
that.
twist.
Yeah, with the twist. They do that by first secretly writing a word to do with that word on their easel, their little plastic easel. Then before they reveal, they show each other. And anyone that wrote the same word deletes their word before the guesser gets to see.
Exactly. So let's say that
Brilliant.
the words was Batman. Why not?
Lovely.
It can be
Great
Batman. And 2 peoples around the table wrote down
Knight
Wayne
or Doc or Wayne, yeah.
or Wayne. that word is not going to be shown to the guesser. That's going to make the things more difficult. You want always to think about getting a word that is kind of like similar but not too mainstream, because otherwise someone else would have
it forces you to, especially if you're playing with a lot of people. I definitely recommend playing with at least six. This is where the game sings. It makes you really think outside the box with your word choice. And it's so funny. You end up with this peculiar meta sometimes where no one picks the obvious. Why did no one write that? And then like the guy guessing is like, wait, what on earth are these words?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, you still need to communicate that single word to the guesser, but without being too easy, not too hard. It's a great game.
It's a brilliant game. You can play it over and over again. Great Christmas game. Play with all family members. It's absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, it works with like kids to grandma. Everybody's gonna have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant game. That's just
one.
So Matt, for number one, we had a good old chat about this list and the order they're in, and I think we were both quite happy with putting this game at number one.
Yes, because it's in terms of communication.
Yeah,
it's the weirdness. It's the one that stands out.
I think it's fantastic, and this is, and to give the viewers clues, the smallest game ever to win the Spiel des Jahres.
Yeah.
It is designed by Antoine Bowser, the man behind Seven Wonders and the Seven Wonders series, and it is just a deck of cards.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Hanabi.
This is another one of those eternal designs where why did nobody think of this before? Simple, Matt.
Yeah.
Got your hand of cards, but guess what?
They are the other way around.
You don't get to see it. You see the backs of the cards.
So everybody else is going to be able to see it, and everybody else will need to help you out understanding what card in what position of what color and what number you're going to have.
Brilliant.
And then play a sort of like it's not a trick taking, but it's putting the set collection of the cards. Again, the tips about which cards the other player's going to have, they're not for free.
No.
So you are very limited about when you can say something, and you can always only say this card is green or this is a 3. You can never do this is a 3 green.
No.
But in different rounds you could have someone to tell you this is green, and that's someone to say this is 3, so you know that is. But again, sometimes that communication goes beyond that. So someone is going to tell you this card is red because maybe you don't need reds anymore on the table, so to let you know that you can discard that card is going to tell you something like that, or tell you this is a 5, so you know that you don't need to discard that card. It goes the communication with just one information at the time, it goes way deeper than what it looks like.
It is absolutely brilliant. And one of the most hilarious things about playing Hanabi is trying to work out where and how to hold your cards so you remember what has been told. Because you're like, I'm sure Matt told me that one of these cards was a 3, but I can't. Which one was it?
Yeah, and again, that you can't use the multiple suggestion just to repeat the same card. So, hey, if you got it wrong, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
And the beautiful things of Hanabi is as well that you can finish the games in different ways, because you got 6 suits, if I remember, 5, 6 a suit. The hardcore mode is finishing every single one.
Yeah.
But then you can still win if you're doing 5 of them, or 4 of them, or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Or unless.
It's just trying to beat your own best score.
Yeah,
that's basically. It's a cooperative game.
But when you manage to do all the colours, that is a great feeling.
And if you really want to get hardcore with Hanabi, there is the additional bonus suit that you can add in that's in the box, which is a multicolour suit. So it makes it even worse. So it counts as all of the colours. So when someone's saying that you've got, red cards in your hand, they also have to count the multicolours.
Yeah,
which is gross. Very difficult. So much fun. We love Hanabi. It's the classic game. I still don't think it gets old. I will still always play it if there's like a spare 20 minutes.
Again, another one that you can play with people that don't usually play board games.
Yeah.
You're gonna their mind is gonna explode when you're gonna show them not the cards. You need to keep them the other way around.
Superb. And I think well deserving of our number 1 limited communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was our video of our top 10 games that use communication in limited and interesting ways. And Matt, I really like these games.
Yeah,
It's such a cool genre.
Yeah,
Right?
it is. It is, especially when I don't have voice like today. So it's like the perfect game that you can have when you got a sore
That's
throat.
insanity. Absolutely, that's the talk. It's fantastic. I love communication games. I think they're
Yeah.
absolutely marvelous. But
Which one are your favourite?
Which one are your favourite
have we
ones?
missed?
yeah, I'm sure we missed a bunch. But what do you think about communication games in general? What are your top ones? As Matt said, do you
Yeah.
like any of the ones on our list? Which one of our list do you really enjoy? Please let us know in the comments below. And there's something that I would like to communicate to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's to send us some money on Patreon.
No, it's not that. Oh my God, that was that was very bad. I would say if you want to support this channel growing, there is a Patreon link down below. They send us some.
See, that's why communication is so important.
That's the
Communication is so important, but also not for free.
No, it's we got a Patreon page where we got some behind the scene exclusive footage, interview with people from the
Monthly video
industry,
podcast, all that good
a lot of stuff. So and again, it costs like a coffee or a pint, or you can take us out for dinner. But I got expensive taste, but a coffee is still good. So check the Patreon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd say to send us some money.
Well, see, communication is important. Otherwise, hit the subscribe button. That's free. You don't need to send anything except your love and best wishes. And we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you at the next one.
Ciao.
Game reviews for you and me. What's to be?